I'm going live. Who's all on here? Let me see. I'm going to. Can you guys even see me? I need to bring this light closer to me. I want to be able to see. Ah, there you guys. Can you see me? I'm not even bright enough. Maybe I need to change the location. There it is. I need to first get on this computer because I know you guys are going to be asking questions. So, tell me where you're at, where you're watching from. I know I was supposed to do a live video with you guys on Tuesday because that's my consistent day that I can do it. But this entire week I have been doing online live coaching on my website for my clients, my current clients. So that's why you didn't see me. But I decided to let today, the last day of the coaching series on diet plan, be live to everybody. So we're going to talk about the differences between low carb and ketogenic diet, how to do it for weight loss, and actually find out which one is best for you. If either one of them. They're similar in their ways, but they're different. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello. So tell me where you guys are watching from, and I'll get started pretty soon. I just want to make sure that I'm up on, hey, Oak Park, Michigan. I just want to make sure that I'm up on my laptop, which was what I was doing before. I was like, oh crap, I got to get online so that I can see questions and things, because I know you guys are going to be asking me. Switch account. Don't want to switch the account. Welcome from California, Latrice. Watching from Memphis, Tennessee. Welcome. Baltimore, Maryland. Yay. Peripheral is awesome. I can see you guys. Here's the gonna watch it on the watch page. I had to cut the volume down. Where are you guys watching from? So I know it's a Friday, so a lot of people weren't probably expecting me to be live. I'm going to go through this now so I can see questions and answers. All right, so I don't want to be on here too long. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. You guys know me as Beauty Cutright. I have 3 channels, but now it's just focusing on 2, on health and fitness. Well, beauty and health is more so it. So you're on my beauty channel, you're on my fitness channel. Most of you know me as Beauty Cutright. My name is Nakia. I coach people on weight loss and fast weight loss. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. One of the diet styles, which is keto, low carb. So there are going to be things that I'm going to be saying that you might not be aware of because you weren't a part of the live coaching series that I did on my site for my paying clients. This entire week we focused on diet. We focused on knowing your numbers. So just giving you guys a synopsis of what it is. We focused on knowing your numbers, meaning knowing what your caloric intake is needed in order for you to lose weight and also for maintenance purposes. So just in case your body gets at a sticking point, we know where to go from that point. So I'm teaching people how to manage their diet. So the first thing is really just paying attention to your caloric intake first before we start talking about protein, carbs, and fat. We also filled out this. Mine is the same. I eat the same way all the time. So we filled out this part in our planner. If you don't have that planner, it's free to everybody if you just log in. If you're not already a member on my site, a lot of this information is already there for you free. This is the planner. We filled out a portion of it that helped us plan out what our diet was going to look like. We did that in my Fitness Pal. So my clients are probably done with that part, and I have to do a face-to-face live with most of them to make sure that they are okay with their diet and we can get started with following that and getting the consistency part of it. Before I come back, which is the end of February, I will be in Africa. I will be in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'll be in Africa for the month of February. and I'll talk about why I'll be in that later. So that's what we did. So we also talked about, is it stopping? We also talked about, let me make sure. Talked about the different diet styles, how to eat a balanced diet. We talked about body type, best body type diets, depending on what your body type was. We talked about that. So today we're going to talk about low carb, keto, because that seems to be popular, and it is very effective. They're somewhat similar, but there are some differences, and you need to be aware of them. There's so much scientific information about ketogenic, low-carb diets, and I want to say more so on the ketogenic diet. It's way more scientific information out there, and sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So for me, my niche is being able to explain that stuff like to a third grader, to somebody that don't even know what it is. First of all, this word ketogenic diet or low carb diet is being thrown around as a weight loss diet. It is not for everybody. So let's just make sure that's clear. Just because they say to you that it will help you lose weight doesn't mean that it works for you. I have learned that from myself, that a ketogenic low carb diet does not work for me. It does not help me lose weight. It does not work for me. Can I use it closer to a competition for me? Yes, I can. But it's not a sustainable diet, and it's not what I did at the beginning of my weight loss journey, because the smartest thing to do is just first understand what your caloric deficit is and stick with that. Eat what you enjoy, control your portions, stay within that caloric deficit. That is the simplest way to do it, because it's really calories in versus calories out. After that, when you get to a plateau or a sticking point, whatever that may be, then you take out all of these other tools. Tools like carb cycling, tools like macro calculating, how much proteins, fats, carbs you need, tools like intermittent fasting, and then now tools about low carb or ketogenic diets. They are different. So these are tools. They're not something that you should say should be sustainable for you, unless you fit in one of these categories, which I'm going to mention. So let's make sure we know the difference between keto and low carb. Just throw it out there. What do you think is the major difference between low carb and keto? You tell me. What's the major difference? Because I got it written down. I know the major difference. But what's the major difference between low carb diets and a ketogenic diet? And I know you know, because this seems to be everybody researches on this particular diet. It's carb count, definitely carb count. What's another out there? High fat, that's definitely correct, because there is a big difference. What do you guys know about the difference in how the protein intake is taken? Oh, I can see right there. No carbs. That's about right, especially for keto. Low carb requires carbs. You burn fat instead of carbs, correct? High protein, low protein. So it's all about carbohydrates and fats in this case. So, yep, keto is moderate. Protein, definitely. Yep, moderate protein. So here's like in a nutshell. No starches, correct, Yvette. No starchy vegetables, or that's what we call them. They're vegetables. There are good carbs and there are bad carbs. It's just out there. That doesn't mean you can't eat them. You just got to know how to use them. So when we're talking about carb intake, that includes vegetables too. Even though they're not starchy, they're more fibrous carbs. So you have to pay attention to the numbers of those either way, because a carb is a carb, even though there's a difference. But we're talking about active carbs versus fat. Fat and carbohydrates are considered energy. Their energy sources is what helps you to have the energy you need to just do whatever activity or no activity whatsoever. Protein is for muscle building. It's also for satiation if you are a person who chooses to eat meat, in a sense. So keto as high as hell on fat, low to no carbs, and moderate protein. Low carb just means low carb, higher on the fats, moderate, well, not higher on the fats, higher on the protein, and then moderate fats. So that's your difference. What you need to understand the difference between protein, not protein, carbs and your fats, there's 9 calories per gram, or is it the other way? It's higher content or higher caloric intake in your fats than it is in your carbohydrates. In the programs that I have on my website, it actually gives you a clear understanding of the difference between keto and low carb. Open. It's not opening. Oh, because it's right here. So I'm going to read it because it's my program and I did the research on it. So the ketogenic diet. So if you have this diet, this is already on the site in the to log in. For those of you who are my clients, you can go to this and actually download this this program. But it lets you know what is a ketogenic diet, the benefits of a ketogenic diet, and diet and exercise when it comes to the ketogenic diet. But let's just say, I'm going to put out on this one for clues. On a ketogenic diet, you may be prone to dehydration due to the lack of carbohydrates. So you guys know that. When you do low carb, the weight loss that you actually have, and even with ketogenic, because they're both considered low to no carb type thing, the first set of weight loss that you have is water weight, not fat. Not yet, not until you're in ketosis if you are on a ketogenic diet. If you're on a low carb diet, you're on that borderline to getting there, but because your fats are not high enough, it's just moderate, but you're higher on the proteins. You have that nausea and that headache thing, and that's going on. You're just like on that brink to it, but you don't quite get to ketosis because you're not high enough on the fats, if that makes sense. If that don't make sense, let me know. Just say, I don't get it. Let me know. But on the ketogenic diet, that's one thing you'll be prone to dehydration due to the lack of carbohydrates. Remember, carbs hydrate the body like water in the form of glucose, so be sure to drink plenty of water. Rule of thumb is to drink at least half your body weight in ounces a day, no less than 90 ounces a day. So make sure you drink the water. But weight loss is a huge benefit of ketogenic diets due to lower insulin levels and the body's ability to burn stored fat. Studies show that high-fat diets, like the ketogenic diet, also do not typically raise cholesterol and may actually reduce cardiovascular risk. Hello. Factors, especially in those who are obese. When you cut carbs out of your diet, your body must find an alternative source of energy, stored body fat. The ketogenic diet is a way to trick your body into thinking it's in starvation mode while you're still consuming enough calories from protein and fats to provide satiation and protect your muscle mass from being used as fuel. So if you really want to get a better understanding of what ketogenic diet is, you can purchase this program on my website. It tells you what it is, how it works, and I'm about to tell you right now who is it good for and who is it not good for. In the simplest format, let me make sure you guys know, not just the ketogenic diet is on there, low carb is on there too. So I have a low carb plan too, and it's just low carb. So it tells you how much carbs you need, but it gives you all of these different options for meal 1, 2, 3. I do it by meal 1, 2, 3, or 4, or snacks. I don't usually say breakfast, lunch, dinner, even though that's the standard American diet. But that has information very simple on what low carb is and how it's different from a ketogenic diet. But keto in itself, because this is the most popular known diet out there, is good for people who are not highly active. It is not good for people who are extremely active. If you are extremely active, You are not doing endurance workouts. You're doing intense workouts. You're doing circuit training. You're extremely an active person. Your body is run off glucose. You need carbohydrates. That is one of the reasons why people who may deal with headaches or anything like that, when they do ketogenic or low carb, why it does not work. Because they are too intense in their workouts, and what causes that problem is that your body actually runs off glucose when you're at high intensity. If you are just walking and you're not doing any crazy style of exercise and you are not very active at all, ketogenic will work for you. Is it sustainable for you? Not necessarily. For some people who deal with certain diseases, I've heard that it works good for people who deal with epilepsy, which usually that has something to do with diabetes. Some people who are dealing with diabetes, they have to control their carbohydrates, and if they're a very active person, ketogenic will work for them in a sense because they can moderate their carbs. They have to moderate their carbs to low. But if you are a very active person, I'm going to tell you right now, high fats is not going to work for you. Yep, a lot of people with PCOS do keto too. That's what I was trying to say. Like there's certain elements or certain, I don't want to say diseases, but there are certain things that we battle against health-wise. PCOS, pre-diabetic and diabetes, people who are insulin resistant or have a very slow metabolism, like keto works for you, especially because you're not probably active anyway. So once you get extremely active, you're going to need to switch from keto to low carb closer to when you're trying to lose weight. But you need to balance out your carbohydrate intake, your protein, and your fats. They need to be balanced out to start off with. But if you're getting started and you are not an active person, I encourage you to find out what your caloric intake is first. Find out what your caloric needs are for weight loss before you start pulling out what we call these other tools, which is keto and low carb. Now, if you are dealing with diabetes, insulin resistant, PCOS, though, then you should start ketogenic diet. Does that make sense? I'm just shooting it from like what it is. It works for certain people when they're starting off, but for anybody else, if you're not very active, if you're very active, don't with keto. Don't. Not now. Not yet. Find out what your caloric intake is first for weight loss, and then pay attention to your portion control so you can enjoy foods as much as you like and still lose the weight. If you do not see results, then it's time to pull those other things out of the bag. So just a nutshell, just putting it out there, ketogenic itself only works best for people who deal with those issues and that are very obese and less active. Start with your diet first. Start with keto in that. If you are a very active person and you're still trying to lose weight and you're having a hard time getting that done and moving, getting it to move fast, you need to look at your numbers. You need to look at your caloric intake. You may be in maintenance mode and that's why you're having a hard time losing the weight. You still need carbs, period. We're going to have to look at your carbs, see how you're intaking that. You need to switch it from one for the other because sometimes we are eating way too much carbs and other crap and not really focusing on our vegetables, sweet potatoes, and certain starchy carbs. So how to do it is very simple. I have a plan for you. The meal plan is right there on my website. You can follow it as it is. Another way that you can do ketogenic diet or a low carb diet is if for either one, 50%, like 50 grams, no lower than 50 grams. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to hear that. I think it's no lower than 50 grams. We already know carbs, 50 grams or no carbs for keto. And I say 50 grams because you still need to eat vegetables. So they're not a starchy carb, but they are a carb in itself. So you still need to eat the vegetables. That's why that number is there. So correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 50? Who's doing a ketogenic diet now per their physician? Most say 25 or less. That's very low. Of carbs. Yes, Yvette, of carbs. Most sites say 25 or less. That is possible if you eat your vegetables raw, if that makes sense. Because some people enjoy cooking their vegetables or steaming their vegetables. Hi, Patty. Nuts. So I want to say 50 or less. Low carb for an active person does work, but it's better to do that in carb cycling. So I do have that program also on the site too. Okay, you do 25, and if that's working for you per your physician, follow that. But if you want to try a ketogenic diet, and when I try keto, they can't food. They say it tastes. Yeah, that's true. Someone who said something about I always get a bad headache when you try keto. They call it the keto flu. They say it takes time to fat adaptation. That is true. I had that as well, and I think I backed out when I realized that my body needs glucose. So it depends on you. I don't know how active you are. And then I also don't know if you are actually eating the right fats too. But they say it's like an adaptation. I don't think it's that much of an adaptation. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. 25 net carbs for keto. Okay. And then I want to say and then that would make sense if I see and I read more so on the 50 aspect when they say 50 grams. Because probably half of that is fibrous carbs and the other half is what we call the active carbs. You still need a little bit of carbs. You still need a little bit to balance the sugar out. But yeah, 25 net carbs makes sense because net is your fibrous carbs. So if you do 50, that means 25 grams of actual starchy carbs. That's not a lot. That's almost saying no. That's saying no carbs anyway. But I was mentioning carb cycling. I saw a question. Spaghetti squash? That's a good question, does it? I'm going to look. But spaghetti squash is a vegetable. So I hope you guys know that. You can have as much of it because it's low on the calories as it is. But I think that it might be in my low carb plan, and I could be wrong. So in the plan, in the keto, just so I can show you guys what's in there. Who goes to the doctor before they do these diets? How do they know keto flu is something else? That's a good question. I'm about to say something about that. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to say it right now in a minute. So what is the keto? So when you go through this plan, what I have is the information for you to understand how keto works. It tells you what you shouldn't eat because I try to keep it as simple as possible. And then here is the grocery list that keeps it simple as possible. Then there's different meal plan options that you can choose from. And then there is the one at the end that helps you design your own meal plan. I do encourage people to make meal plans that work for you. Everybody doesn't eat the same way. So you know what you enjoy and what you like. Just know exactly what it is. You know. So it even gives you directions on how to do it. Starts with 100 grams and 3 weeks later 70 grams and then drop it down to 50 grams. So it's like seriously step by step on how to do it for all of these meal types. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I just say meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how often you eat. So that's in there. So if you want to include spaghetti squash, you can. It's just follow the rules of creating the plan. Now, someone just said something about no one goes to the doctor before they do these diets. How do they know keto flu isn't something else? That is so true. Okay, so I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to open to questions and answers. I am in the middle of learning and being trained on this. It seems to be a new craze. I don't even think you guys even know that I do this, but I am involved with CBD oil, cannabis oil, whatever you want to call it, weed oil, whatever you want to call it. I am doing some research on that, but one of the things that was mentioned within this health group is that it is important that we go and see our doctors, because we need to know what's going on with our body hormone-wise. And just like this person just mentioned, how do you know if something that you're going through is not stemmed from something else? Because most people who do try keto may assume that it's the keto flu and it might be something else. But it is important that you go and see your physician. Yeah, about emails about CBD oil. So I know I'm doing that now. I'm getting more information and research on it, and I have learned that it helps with rapid weight loss. And I'm saying that per my experience. I haven't started sharing it yet because I have a lot going on as far as having to leave for South Africa in the next week and getting things together for the company that I'll be working for out there. But you need to see your doctor. And then I am a person who says don't take everything your doctor says for face value. I'm going to be real with you. Doctors are, not all of them, you just have to educate your doctor. You are responsible for your own health. They are a physician. They are trained for health. That does not mean they know every damn thing, okay? It doesn't mean that they're going to agree with you on certain things. That's why you guys need to have a conversation with your doctor. Do not be afraid of them. Do not feel like they're trying to push pharmaceuticals on you. And I'm just going to say that they're pharmaceutical drug dealers. That's what they are. And that's how they're trained. That's not necessarily always their fault. Because some doctors are really into homeopathic, or healthier ways of actually losing weight or dealing with a particular disease or ailment. So I will say this. You need to know your doctor, and your doctor needs to know you, and you guys need to have a conversation. Some things you're going to have to communicate them and teach them about you. You are responsible for your health, not them. So if you are not seeing a physician, you are not being responsible. If you are seeing a physician and you're not asking questions, you are not being responsible. You are allowing them to take control of what happens to you, and you know better about you than they do. That does not mean that what they're telling you is not right for you. That's not what I'm saying. But listen to them, and if you know that there is something that works for you, educate them on that. Don't think because they spent years and years in medical school, that they know everything. There are so many homeopathic things that are out here that some of your physicians actually agree with. It's just they don't introduce it most of the time because most people don't even ask. They don't even say anything. So find out what your freaking hormones are before you start trying all of these different diets. If you are afraid of the doctor for right now, or you don't have a physician for whatever per reason there may be, start with your caloric intake. Start with that first, and not get so caught up on carbs, protein, and fats. The only thing you should be caught up when it comes to that is making sure they're the right types of foods. And the only thing that you need to make sure is the right types of food is really carbohydrates. Because protein is easy to understand what it is. Fats, in some cases, a little easy to understand. I know when people do ketogenic diets, you read a lot about high fatty meats, and most people don't even freaking eat meat. So just moved to a new state. Yay, Patty. So yeah, know what the good fats are, but carbs is usually the problem. People think they can just eat whatever carbs and you can't. Eat the right foods. Your vegetables, that includes potatoes. That's a vegetable. Sweet potato is a vegetable. They're vegetables. Okay, Anita asked. So I'm opening it up to questions. I'll give it, let's open it up for about 10 minutes for questions. Someone said, hello, I want to ask you, I want to lose 20K so I know what the best diet is. Yeah, I should tell you guys, access to the client site is free to you. It's free to you. You guys know that, right? You also are able to join the group too. And I coach there and I send information there until you're ready to get direct coaching from me for you personally. So when you go to my website, and I'm just showing you from my phone, there's 2 places that you can go. Okay. Dang, you guys are already on the site. But there's 2 places you can go. So this is the last day for this training, and I made it free to everybody to watch. But you can just log in, or you can just join the group. If you log in, it's going to prompt you to join the group anyway. So joining the group allows you to go to the GroupMe app. So it's a lot of us there. So you can come there, you can get motivation. That's free to you. That's not a part of, payment for coaching with me. That's free to everybody. We all need motivation. We all need somebody to answer to. We all need a little bit of help then and there. And I think it's just better to just do it as a community where you can get the support that you need whenever you're just feeling like this ain't working today, or you just need someone to work with. So you can join the group. That's no big deal. You can log in. Am I logged in? But this is what the login screen is. So if you're already a member to my site, you can log in. If you're not, you can sign up using whatever you want to. It's totally fine. And you're able to get into the back end of this site. Okay, that's a good question. I'm about to answer that question. So, yeah, this is what are you doing? Oh, this is what it looks like. I'm going to be changing the look of it, but there's an introduction video for you to watch. So it tells you exactly what you need to do. Most of the stuff you have access to. Is telling you the group to get into. Download the planner because that's what we've been working with. Find out what your body type is. We talked about that yesterday, about what diets are best for your body type. So anybody can get on this and actually find out what your body type is. And it also gives you some information on what diet is best for you, what training style is best for you, what works, what doesn't work. So you definitely can see that now, because I don't sell information, I sell results. I just give you the information. The schedule is there, but I'm going to be taking this down because today is the last day and I wanted to make it available to all of you to see how I'm coaching. We talked about routine already, so there's videos for that. So you can unlock that now and this is for paying clients. So keep that in mind. But those videos are there telling you how to make a routine that works for you. Because a lot of times, most of us are just living life and we don't have a plan. Nothing in your life seems like it's well put together. You're stressed out. And the more stressed out you are, the more weight you keep gaining. So we don't want that happening. So you need to adjust your lifestyle, because this is about lifestyle. And then the diet, which is, this is the last video. So if I unlock that, now again, all of those videos for paying clients, all of the videos are there. Even the links to meal plans and things that I have already linked it to. So there's step-by-step directions on everything, on how to find out what your BMR is, how to know what your calories should be for maintenance and for weight loss, and also for weight gain, meaning that you're trying to build muscle, and with that comes the building of fat. It happens. And then but you will know what you need to do for your weight loss. So you need to know your caloric intake in that aspect. You also need to know calories, proteins, fats. So when we get to that step of needing to use that tool for further weight loss, when you get at a sticking point, now we can move to the next tool. So all of that is there, just the directions. And then here's the video you're watching right now. It's already on there. And those 2 plans are already there for my paid clients. But if you want to just purchase just a weight loss program that I just mentioned, the 2 or any of them, they're there on the site. They're affordable. You don't have to worry about me breaking your bank. So there was someone, Patty mentioned something. Should I ask my former doctor about recommending a doctor where I moved to because I really trust her and I'll miss going to her. She did my, oh, I don't want to say too much, but yes. If you have a doctor that you trust and you think they know a doctor somewhere that is similar to them, you know, they got friends in other places, yes, do that. Your responsibility. You have a right to do that. You also have a right to change doctors if you don't like the doctor that you're dealing with either. You have every right to. I know with healthcare industry and having healthcare and Medicaid and all of that stuff, and I'm just speaking from experience, sometimes that's kind of hard because they make you have certain doctors. So, but it's your health, so take responsibility for it. If you like the doctor that you have and you don't have them anymore, they're switching you to another one, take the responsibility. If you are with a doctor per non-your control, be frank with them and be okay with educating them about you, period. Otherwise, just go to them to make sure that you know information that you need to know about your health, and just check twice about everything that they say, because your health is your health. Any other questions? I only want to be on here 45 minutes. While I'm waiting on questions, let's recap. If you want to do keto or low carb, if you definitely want to do keto and you are like, you don't do much activity, you only do like endurance things like just walking or jogging, like keto will work for you. Keto will work for people with PCOS, and diabetes, pre-diabetic or diabetes, anybody that deals with insulin resistance in that sense, like because the carbs and you're eating way more carbs than you really think you are, that could be an issue. Your metabolism is off. But if you are a very active person and you do high intensity stuff, you definitely don't want to do ketogenic diet. You want to stick to a carb diet, and low carb is totally fine when you're trying to bring yourself in a caloric intake in order to lose weight. But keep in mind, don't focus on the number on the scale, focus on the inches around your waist. You will see a difference. So because the truth is, you're actually losing water weight. Most of the time with us, we are overweight, but there's layers of overweight. There's water weight, there's fat, and then there's inflammation. And I'm just saying that there's layers of being big. What are those layers? There's 3 layers: water, because we hold water; fat, which that's usually very hard to lose, but it can be done; and then there's inflammation, which is what you need to really focus on getting that taken care of, because inflammation lets you know that something is going on in your body that you need to fix. Inflammation is necessary. It's good because it tells you you need to fix something. Does that make sense? So, and I've done a live video about inflammation, what it means, why, and most people think they're fat and they're just inflamed. I've had a client and they have an extended belly and they think they're fat, they got to lose fat. No, you need to clean your diet so your digestive system can stop being inflamed. And then that makes your stomach come down. So those are things, it's a big difference of them all. So thank you very much. Aw, thank you, Anita. Any other questions? Just let me know. So just make sure there's layers to weight loss. When you're trying to lose weight, the first thing that happens is inflammation comes down. So if you have extended belly, I have videos, live videos that I've done on that. So wait, where's that? Oh, detox for here. My focus is on keto and low carb. Am I going to talk about detox and the benefits? You know what? Looks like I am for Tuesday's video. Looks like that's That's Tuesday's video, Yvette. Thank you. Because I know I'm going to be doing a live on Tuesday, 2 p.m. I didn't do live this past Tuesday because my focus was on my clients. And this is the last video. This was for them, but I said, let me open it up to everybody because I know this is a hot topic and I want you guys to know. It's good before dieting. Yes, there's different types of, there's different types of diets out there. So I've talked about all of them through this coaching program. That was the entire week. Friday's the last day. So I started from beginning to end. I even provided the programs. You also can purchase them separately anyway. So that's at your choice. But the coaching part, I'm coaching that step by step. You want to be on my diet, Miss Beautiful Sweet Tea? Yes, you're correct. I eat fish and eggs. That's my choice of protein. I am a mesomorph body type. Everybody needs protein. I've done the vegetarian and the vegan, tried it. I'm not really a vegan person. I'm more so can be vegetarian. So if I'm out and about, the only time I'll really eat meat is when I'm out and about. But at home, which is what I am most of the time, I prefer to cook from home. So I have a what you call a pescatarian diet. I did vegetarian for a long time with the exception of eating just eggs because that's all I wanted to eat. So now I just reintroduced back into my diet fish because I tried to bring meats back because I just wanted to see, like, is this something that I can do long term being vegan or vegetarian? And it looks like I can do the pescatarian for a little while and then I'll probably go back to, so it just depends on how I feel. But yes, my choice of protein that I like to eat is eggs and fish. Your choice is your choice. You know what proteins are, you know they're animal products. It's totally your choice. I'm not a cheese person, even though I know cheese is hard to give up because cheese is amazing. But I don't eat cheese. I eat vegan or vegetarian cheese. I prefer that. I don't have ice cream anymore. Lactose intolerant now. So I don't eat ice cream. I don't deal with milk. I don't even do almond milk because I'm allergic to almonds now. So I was taking things out of my diet to see what was working and what was not working. So you want to do what I do? That's cool. Any more questions? We got 2 minutes. I know it's a delay, so it looks like our next live is going to be on detox. Bye. No, oh, that's a good question, sweetie. No, you shouldn't be afraid of eating eggs every day. Can we do vegan, keto, and how? I'm going to answer that. I like that question. Okay, so 2 questions. It's no need to be afraid of eating eggs. I know the stem around it is high cholesterol. This is why you need to know things about yourself from your doctor and tell them to show you that. You know what I mean. Tell them to show you that and help you understand what that means. And then listen to them if they say something about that. So no, there is no need to be afraid of eating eggs every day because I do it and I don't have that problem. And it's mainly because I've talked to my doctor, told them to show me, help me understand where these numbers and this vital stuff is coming from, period. But can you do keto on a vegan diet? Yes, you can. Because I know a lot of people think when they think keto, they think they eat protein, and most of the proteins that have high fats in it, like bacon, ham, and cheeseburgers and all of that stuff, and then cooking it in fatty oils, yes. But as a vegan or vegetarian, your focus probably would be more on avocados, nuts, legumes, seeds. Those are things, and that's actually in the plan. So there's a grocery list for both the low carb and the ketogenic diet. And it actually says it has everything separated so you'll understand what's what. So if you're not interested in eating meat because you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't have to look into that. It shows you what's higher on the fats. Oh, it's constantly telling me what to do. So I'll show you guys again. So the low carb meal plan really just gives you options. And then for the ketogenic diet, that one I have the grocery list is there. It tells you what you can and can't eat. So it's simplified. That way when you build your own meal plan, you know what to look for. But here is the grocery list, and it shows you what are best so that you can have a higher fat diet. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions or anything like that, you know where to find me. Go to my website. Join the group. It's a community that's free to you. You can ask questions, and if I can answer them, I will. There's a lot of them that are clients there. They might answer for you. Don't feel like offended if they do answer. Beautycutright.com. Everything is my name. I am my brand. I am me. So beautycutright.com is where you go to after this video is over, or if you're watching it on YouTube, you can just scroll down to the bottom of this video and all of the links are there. The link says to hire me as your coach. That sends you right to the client website. A lot of information there is free for you to access, so just browse through it. It also has the shop weight loss programs. You can click on that. There's client testimonies and thereforth and thereon. So I'm going to wrap this up. Again, don't do keto if you're very active. Just don't. Just balance your carbohydrates out and just try a low carb diet. But that's the best thing that I can tell you. If you're not an active person, keto will work for you. If you're just starting off and trying to find a diet plan, that's going to work for you. So if you find that you're doing keto, you feel good, but it's not getting you the weight loss goals that you want, it's probably not for you. So leave it alone and eat some damn carbs. Stop trying to follow all of these diet plans and people telling you that's going to make you. I know our focus is weight loss, but you want to do it the right way. So I will see you guys in the next live, which will be Tuesday at 2 p.m. If you are not subscribed to my email list, you are probably not getting the idea that I let you guys get those links to these videos beforehand. So make sure you do that. I will be talking about the benefits of detox and how you can detox. Darn, I forgot who asked that. I am going to talk about it. Thank you for bringing that up, because we can talk about that Tuesday at 2 p.m. So that's what we'll do. And then I'll tell you guys what I'm doing in Africa, because I was supposed to tell you, but I don't want to be here too long. So I got some clients I got to take care of. I love you guys. Stay healthy. It's Friday. Drink a glass of wine. Wind down. Check me out on beautycutright.com.